Yes or no?
I think it's going to succeed. It's going to succeed.
Can you believe it?
Y'all did it.
KBLA Talk 1580 is about to celebrate its second anniversary on Juneteenth, and no terrible twos around here. We couldn't be more excited about all the good news we'll be announcing soon, including the launch of some new shows to keep giving you more of what you've been looking for.
Come on.
Smart radio for smart people. Hey, it's our celebration, but you get all the gifts. We'll be giving away fresh merch, swag bags, and a chance for you to join the private invitation-only, star-studded music and dance till you drop, food and drink galore second anniversary celebration. To stay in the know about the second anniversary details, download the KBLA Talk 1580 app right now. Don't miss out on your chance to be a winner. At KBLA Talk 1580, when we come forward, we're bringing everybody with us.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America.
The story of Emmett Till and his mother is a story of a family's promise and loss and a nation's reckoning with hate, violence, and abuse of power. It's a story that was seared into our memory and our conscience, the nation's conscience, when Mrs. Till insisted that an open casket for her murdered and maimed 14-year-old son. She said, "Let the people see what I've seen." The reason the world saw what she saw was because of another hero in this story, the black press. Jet Magazine, the Chicago Defender, and other black radio and newspapers were unflinching and brave in making sure America saw what she saw. Ida B. Wells once said, and I quote, "The way to right wrongs is to turn the light of truth upon the wrongs."
Turning the light of truth upon the wrongs. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along.
KBLA Talk 1580. Hope you're happy today. And I'm happy to welcome in my colleague and friend. He's the producer of Out Loud with Ariva Martin on this radio station and also the host of his own program here, Avi Bernard. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. Good to talk to you.
I should say he's an actor, an athlete, a writer, director, all the things that you do. Yeah,
Well,
you do all.
I haven't been an athlete for a long time.
Huh?
Thank you. Well, I haven't been an athlete for a long time, but I'll take it. Thank you.
Well, I know, but you come from that foundation. I mean, it does give you a different outlook on sports and certainly a different level of expertise and involvement. I know you report on sports. You've done that for KTLA TV over the years. But I think you have insight as someone who played football in college and high school, who's coached football, and who's been a pretty dedicated athlete yourself.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, sports do give you a different perspective of team involvement and what commitment you do and how much hard work can help you persevere in the most difficult circumstances. That is definitely true.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I know that you are a Laker fan. Are you excited right now?
I am actually very excited. I've been following the Lakers season very closely, even before they made all the trades to compile their current roster. And I've been excited about this team for a long time. Even when they were in 13th place, I saw the potential, because you got to remember it was only 3 years ago that the Lakers won the championship. And the next year in 2021, they were up 2-1 on the Phoenix Suns in the first round of the playoffs before Anthony Davis got hurt, and then the Suns won 3 straight, and then the Lakers were eliminated, and the Suns would eventually go to the NBA Finals. And so we're not far removed from that team. And then last year they had a lot of injuries. They ended up, I think it was 16 games under 500. And this year, with Anthony Davis and LeBron James for the most part healthy, they both missed, their own periods of time. I think LeBron missed about 10, 12 games toward the end of the season. Anthony Davis missed about 20 games in January. And so with those guys healthy, and Rob Pelinka, the general manager, was able to add some key pieces around them. And now, we're seeing the result of that. And, everyone picked, most people picked the Grizzlies to beat them. They beat the Grizzlies in 6 games. Almost all of the ESPN experts picked, I think it was 12 out of 14, picked the Warriors to beat the Lakers in this series. And obviously it's just one game, but the Lakers win game 1 on the road in Golden State. And that's not easy. Golden State was 19-2 in home game 1s under Steve Kerr in the playoffs.
Wow.
And the Lakers win that game 1. That's a huge sign.
Miles is a big Laker fan as well. Miles Lowe, the production coordinator, and basically our personal MacGyver here at KBLA. And Miles and Zoe Williams have an ongoing battle.
It's not a battle.
What is it?
It's not a battle. Not a battle.
What is it?
He's wrong. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong, and I've told Zoe that, and I accept it, and I respect him, and it's all love.
Because he's a LeBron hater.
He's a LeBron hater, and that's the thing about it. Like, how are you a Lakers fan? How are you a true Lakers fan and a LeBron hater while he's in a Laker uniform? So, it's okay to be a contradiction.
Those two things cannot exist at the same time. You cannot be a true Laker fan and a LeBron hater, because LeBron's been with the team since 2018. That's 5 years. All right, and he's brought the team a championship. He's completely turned the franchise around. He's made it a destination again. Free agents were turning the Lakers down, when LeBron came, and now they're not. And obviously, we're in contention for a championship. I don't know how you're a LeBron hater. There's no LeBron Kobe beef. They were friends. You don't have to pick one or the other. We obviously all love Kobe and will forever. That doesn't mean you have to hate LeBron.
And that's the thing too. A lot of people are. It seems like Zoe and a lot of other of the LeBron haters that claim to be Laker fans are attached to either Kobe or Michael Jordan and don't want LeBron's success to, overtake what they consider to be the greatest. And, I don't think it's too much of a reason to change your debate. If your debate isn't changed by now, I don't think there's anything LeBron can do to change that. So why not root for the man that's going to bring your team a championship? I don't get it.
Yeah, I remember feeling some kind of way about LeBron at a certain point because I am a Kobe, fan. But, come on now. Come into the 21st century. Like you said, Avi, the guy's been on the Lakers for 5 years. But to me, more than that, his humanitarianism, his political consciousness, his contribution to black people, that's the thing that makes me a LeBron James fan, aside from, his obvious athletic gifts and, gifts and skills. That makes it a non-conversation for me.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, Dominique, and that's what I was getting ready to say, is that his organization, more than a vote, is an organization that helps turn black people out to vote, and he was a big driving force in using NBA arenas as polling places during the last election cycle, and in 2020, the last presidential election, and he's really tuned in to what's going on, and he does speak out, and you don't see that from all athletes these days. He's more of a throwback. Obviously you can't put him on the same level as like a Kareem, but because back then, things were different, and all like the major athletes were all like really into social justice issues, and I think LeBron is kind of in that vein. He's cut from the same cloth, and he does speak out, and that's one thing. That's the main thing that changed my mind about LeBron, in addition to his just his all-time great level of skill and durability. I mean,
right.
But,
most of y'all can't even get up off the couch at 38.
Right. I'm the same age as LeBron, and hey, you know what? I have to really stretch before I do anything now.
Yeah, no more grunting when you pick up a thing and then you're going to criticize LeBron. I mean, I think that's another, important point. But bottom line is now I've been excommunicated by many of my Bay Area friends because I'm rooting for the Lakers against the Warriors. And sorry, you're behind the times. I've been rooting for the Lakers since I moved here. Look, you're welcome to call. Join me, Avi Bernard, Miles Lowe. And in the second half of this hour, we will be speaking with Kountry Wayne as advertised. All that's coming up on KBLA Lakers Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
You know those cigarette butts that you see every day? They're made of microplastics and they line our streets and waterways. On California beaches, they're the #1 plastic you'll find. Over 35 years, cleanups have collected millions combined. But no matter where you see them, they're all getting smaller, eventually leaching into our food, our air, our water. The tobacco industry's to blame for all of the harm that they do. For the harm to the people we love, and the harm to you too. Learn more at undo.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are popularly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCES scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, did you know nacho fries are back at Taco Bell? But they're not going to hang around forever, so don't wait. Or you might miss out on these hot, crisp fries covered in all those bold Mexican spices with delicious nacho cheese sauce. Or wait and just settle for flavorless fries. Regular, bland, spiceless, flavorless, flimsy, non-nacho fries. Just an absolute bummer of a fry.
Nacho fries are back. Get them today, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary.
KBLA Talk 1580 would like to thank all of the businesses that tune into KBLA at work. We celebrate you, your calls to the station, and your overall support. To show our appreciation, we would like to treat your office to a lunch for 10, brought to you by the Original Taco Pete's. Open the KBLA Talk 1580 app or log on to KBLA1580.com to submit your office to be selected for our Office of the Week. We know you're just like our staff, putting in many hard, smart working hours per week. We just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you. You and your staff deserve lunch on us. Enter your office to win lunch for 10 and be highlighted on KBLA Talk 1580 as our Office of the Week. Open the KBLA app or log on to KBLA 1580 to enter your office today to become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week, sponsored by the Original Taco Pete's, a black-owned restaurant. Become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week. This has been a KBLA Talk 1580 community call to action.
I know it's gonna happen without you.
King C. Gillette is the modern man's answer to their facial hair. With a complete set of precision tools, the King C. Gillette line offers the perfect fit for your facial hairstyle. Want to try something great? Try the Style Master, the quintessential styling tool that every man needs to craft their style. It's a waterproof, cordless trimmer with a long-lasting 4-directional blade. It's extremely versatile and designed to edge, trim, and stubble in 4 directions on any hair length. Master your style with King C. Gillette.
Come join us for a celebration of community, culture, and healing at the I Love Myself Festival, Sunday, May 21st from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. at the Outdoor Pavilion of the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall. Yoga, meditation, food, vendors, a kids zone, and a special panelist segment featuring Samantha Smith, D Smoke, and Ebony Davis. Performances by Wilson, Skylar Ray, Divas of Compton, Iman Europe, Kalan For Real, and Eric Bellinger. It's all going down Sunday, May 21st at the Outdoor Pavilion of the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Let's come together for a day of fun, celebration, and healing. For more details, contact Project Pit on social media or text 323-448-5770. The I Love Myself Festival in celebration of Mental Health Awareness Month is a free event for community healing and culture. May 21st from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Avi Bernard is joining me this morning. This half hour. Avi's show is Fridays, 4 to 6, the one he hosts here on KBLA if you want to hear him. And of course, he is the producer of Out Loud with Ariva Martin, which is 4 to 6. Monday through Thursday. Miles and Avi are Laker fans. Lakers beat the Warriors 117-112. They now lead that series 1-0. They took one on the road, which I think was kind of unexpected. The Warriors, their crowd is pretty rowdy. They're definitely engaged. Do you think maybe having Jack Nicholson back on the sidelines, do you think that made a difference?
I think it was definitely an inspirational factor for the Lakers. You know, he hadn't been at a game in, I think, 2 or 3 years. And so he's kind of like the unofficial Lakers mascot. And he used to be at the games every night courtside. And he was at the game, their last home game. And so, I think that we're able to take a lot
for
that.
years and years. When I used to get to go to Laker games, he would be there. Yeah.
Yeah. I should say just a quick aside. It's actually called Ariva Martin in Real Time.
Oh, in Real Time. Right, Out Loud was her weekend show, so that's a brain fade. Right. Riva Martin in Real Time. Yeah, it's a great show, by the way. So, what are you guys' predictions, Miles and Avi? You think the Lakers can do it? I mean, I feel like I said this to Miles, and you've already explained why, Avi, but I feel like a month ago, people were saying Lakers are not a playoff team, and they won't be a playoff team for many years, and, you know, it's all about the Clippers. Now they're not in the playoffs, and the Lakers are.
Who does that sound like, Dominique? Who does that really sound like? That sound like Laker fans? That sound like true basketball fans? No.
Well, I mean, I'm not just talking haters. Those are sports writers that are saying that too.
The experts were saying, the Lakers are. Just seasoned NBA quote unquote experts were saying, the Lakers, they'll be lucky to make the play-in. If they do make the play-in, they probably won't make the playoff. If they do make the playoff, they're not going to win a round. If they do win a round, it'll only be one round. And so it just goes on and on to just continue on with this nonstop bombardment of Laker hate. People do not like the Lakers because they are haters. And so there was something to what they were saying, though, because the Lakers roster, as previously constructed, was very flawed. But with the changes they made, as soon as they made those trades, my optimism was at a season high, probably at a 2-year high with the Lakers, because they have the necessary pieces now. And I think that they can do it, to answer your question, Dominique. Will they? Obviously is an open question, but the fact that they won game 1, I picked the Lakers in 6 before this series started, and I think if they make it to the next round, which is a long way away, they have to beat the Warriors 3 more times. It's difficult to beat a great team 4 times, and the Warriors are a great team. But I think the next round would be even more difficult if the Nuggets were to advance, and I think the Nuggets are going to beat the Suns. I picked them to win that series before the series started as well. And so, it's going to get harder and harder, and it wouldn't be any easier in the finals, assuming, maybe the Celtics or the Sixers were waiting there for the Lakers.
Miles, you got any predictions?
I feel like the Lakers will win this series. I think they kind of proved last night that their size is going to be a big difference maker. I think that if the Lakers do end up making the Western Conference Finals, I feel like obviously, we will have problems with the Denver Nuggets. I also think we have problems with the Suns as well. But personally, I'd prefer the Denver Nuggets. I think that they haven't proven that they'll win anything yet. But yeah, I feel the same way though. I feel like the Lakers did turn around the trade deadline. They have it on the up and up. And even though they did have a bad start to the season, I've always said you can't count a LeBron James-led team out, especially if he's healthy, especially if AD's been healthy, which they have been. They've been playing good minutes and taking care of themselves. So, I think the sky's the limit for the Lakers. I think that you judged us a little early. And, I think now it's going to come back to bite you if everybody stays healthy, because we're still a rolled ankle or a broken bone or concussion or anything. Any little thing can happen and ruin the season, of course. But I think that right now, healthy, if they play the way they've been playing, the Lakers are a threat, and Lakers just might win a championship. And I know they would hate to see it happen, but oh my God, Avi, if that happens, if my man gets 5 rings, it's over for him.
Oh man, you're gonna see so much LeBron hate. If LeBron wins the championship, people are gonna be out in the streets protesting. I mean, I don't know. At a certain point, you got to.
What people though? Zoe Williams and who else?
Everyone who's not a Lakers fan, really, and even some Laker fans. It's really sad to see.
Dominique, the thing is too, the last ring that we got, like they call it the bubble ring, as if it has some type of caveat to it, like it's not a real championship. Like they'll find any reason to downplay this ring. So I don't want to. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, they call it. Some people, or haters, call it a Mickey Mouse ring,
right?
Because it's not. It wasn't done in the usual circumstances. But I think that's one of the hardest rings to win when you don't have any home court advantage. Every game is on a neutral court, and you beat everybody. You beat the crap out of everybody, and that's what the Lakers did that year. But also, just to follow up on what Miles said about this year, I do think that the Lakers would have a easier time with the Suns because they are so top heavy. They have zero depth, and that's why they're down 0-2 to the Nuggets. But in the NBA this year, you're seeing so much parity. The number 1 seed in the East, the Bucks, who all the so-called experts picked to win the championship most of the year, including when the playoffs started, they got eliminated in the first round in 5 games. And you also have, the obviously Lakers are the 7th seed. You have the 2 seed in the West being eliminated, and you have no idea what's going to happen in these playoffs. The Sixers beat the Celtics in Game 1 without Joel Embiid. And so this year's NBA playoffs feels more like March Madness. It's not going to be the same. NBA playoffs usually are different because it's harder to beat a team 4 times than it is to beat a team 1 time, which is why there aren't as many upsets. But this year does feel different.
Well, it's amazing how quick these sports writers and such turn around. Like, they're writing now. It has a very different tone.
Can I add one point real quick, Dominique, to what
course.
he was saying about the Mickey Mouse ring? And this is my one argument that I throw out when people say it's a Mickey Mouse ring, there's an asterisk on it, it's a bubble ring. Not only did everybody have to play in that same setting, but on top of that, if the man would have lost, you'd have held it against him.
Right, of course. Not only that.
Oh, yeah, that's a fact.
I mean, not only that, everything was harder during that time.
Yeah.
I don't care if you were just a kid going to school. That's why LAUSD handed out more Fs than ever in history. Whether you were doing your job, I mean, it's why people are still mentally ill, even more than usual. You're playing in a so-called bubble. You don't get to go home and see your family. You're under a lot of pressure. I don't think, if anything, that should be a grit ring. Right, because you have to grind it out.
You're getting tested.
Yeah, go ahead, Alvin.
You're getting tested multiple times a day for COVID. I mean, as you said, Dominique, you're away from your families. You were not allowed to leave that bubble once you were in it, and they were super strict about that. And I agree. I think that was probably one of the more difficult championships to win.
Yeah, I mean, and think about, we're talking about elite athletes here. So going home doesn't just mean kissing the wife and kid or the side piece and kid. It means, whatever your vitamin regimen, whatever trainers, and things that you use to keep yourself in tip-top shape. And if you're a LeBron James, who is a young 38, that's part of being able to maintain, right? I mean,
absolutely,
that training regimen and that all of those supplements and all the things that you do to keep your body in tip-top condition at home, aside from your job and your practices. So I think, to me, if anything, they should get extra credit.
Yeah, also, Dominique, not just your body, but your mind, because athletes are creatures of routine. As you mentioned, I was an athlete in a former life, but athletes are creatures of routine, and just mentally, they love to have their habits, their routines that they go through every home game, every road trip. And so not being able to do that, your whole routine being thrown off. I mean, imagine your gym routine is thrown off. You might not even go. And so, I mean, now you're talking about trying to compete with the best basketball players in the world, and with all the pressure. And I think that it's just it's really sad, because all the haters that say it's a Mickey Mouse ring, they would have loved if their team got that ring.
I was just about to say, some of them that have never had a ring, if they get a ring, they'll still be celebrating. But also, I think it's so easy for us to forget, even though officially we still have COVID, the mindset of that time, right? Everyone was there. We didn't have vaccines at first, and everyone's freaked out about it. The controversy, the fear. I mean, people hoarding toilet paper. And
I mean, also, that was the George Floyd time, the Breonna Taylor time. Right. They had sat out a couple games because of, I forgot which case it was. They sat out a couple games because of Milwaukee. Like, it was a crazy time in the world. Yep.
And so, to your point, Avi, about routine and also discipline, the discipline that it takes to perform at that level. For me, that is the opposite of a Mickey Mouse ring. It should be like a double ring.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It should be. And, people are just always going to find a reason to hate on the Lakers no matter what. If they win this year, they'll say, oh, it's because of, who knows what they'll say. Yeah. Or somebody so-and-so was injured. And, but when the Lakers have injuries, they never give us that excuse.
Right. Yeah, they'll call it the Biden ring or the inflation ring or something. But in any case, I feel like the season is already a success just by the Lakers going to the playoffs and just by them beating the Warriors, even if it's just one time. I hope they keep winning. But for folks just mere weeks ago saying they wouldn't be a playoff team for years, I feel like we already up.
Hey, they beat the Grizzlies. I'm good. Even if they were to happen to lose to the Lakers, they beat those just unbelievably annoying Grizzlies. And I'm just that's what I needed to happen. I said before the Grizzlies series, if we just beat these then I'm good. Obviously you want a championship, but we just have to beat them, and we did, and so I'm good.
Well, thank you for jumping on, Avi Bernard. I'm trying to get back caught up on my sports and get back in the groove, but I appreciate you, and I appreciate you, Miles.
Anytime, Dominique.
Fridays, 4 to 6. That's Avi Bernard. We've got news, traffic, sports, and then we'll be talking with Kountry Wayne on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The Biden administration is sending 1,500 active duty troops to the southern border as Title 42 will expire next week. A surge of migrants into the U.S. is expected once the pandemic-era immigration rule ends. Pentagon Press Secretary Pat Ryder said troops won't perform any law enforcement duties but will support Border Patrol in administrative and other tasks. New York City is honoring 36 NYPD officers who were killed in the line of duty. African-American Mayor Eric Adams and top NYPD officials joined the families of those fallen officers for an emotional ceremony at the NYPD Hall of Heroes on Tuesday. There were 36 more names added to that memorial wall. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome at the end of your first year. They automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you've earned doubled. The cash back from trips, restaurants, all doubled. Seriously though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
NBA experts around the country have been consistent with this analysis. The Lakers will go as far as Anthony Davis will take them. It appears Davis is ready to put the Lakers on his back. AD had a spectacular game last night in the Lakers' 5-point win at Golden State in Game 1. 30 points, 23 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 block shots in 44 minutes. LeBron finished with 22 points and 11 rebounds. Game 2 in the best of 7 is Thursday night at 6 on ESPN. The Memphis Grizzlies wasted no time in getting rid of Dylan Brooks. The Grizzlies told Brooks and his agent that they are not bringing him back next season. Brooks becomes an unrestricted free agent in June and can sign with any team. The man Brooks called old is still doing work in the NBA playoffs. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580 would like to thank all of the businesses that tune into KBLA at work. We celebrate you, your calls to the station, and your overall support. To show our appreciation, we would like to treat your office to a lunch for 10, brought to you by the Original Taco Pete's. Open the KBLA Talk 1580 app or log on to KBLA1580.com to submit your office to be selected for our Office of the Week. We know you're just like our staff, putting in many hard, smart working hours per week. We just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you. You and your staff deserve lunch on us. Enter your office to win lunch for 10 and be highlighted on KBLA Talk 1580 as our Office of the Week. Open the KBLA app or log on to KBLA 1580 to enter your office today to become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week, sponsored by the Original Taco Pete's, a black-owned restaurant. Become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week. This has been a KBLA Talk 1580 community call to action.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
And I'm so excited to welcome into the space one of the fastest rising and most popular comics in the country right now. He made a name for himself on a big level on social media. The sketches, everyone loves the sketches on Facebook, on IG, TikTok, YouTube, his characters. He's a writer. He also does stand-up, though. And he's an author. Man, Kountry Wayne, good morning.
Thank you for that introduction. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. I so appreciate you, joining us. I don't know if you know, KBLA is the only Black-owned talk radio station west of the Mississippi, and so we appreciate you, putting your clout on these microphones and us, getting the word out about all of these new projects you've got going on.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Congratulations to you guys, man. And, so I'm with the movement. Let's get it.
So, you kind of are, as close to self-made as a person can be, right, in this country, because there's always family, friends, and others that help. But, you kind of created your own space for yourself on social media, having been pretty far, as we say, hitting rock bottom, I guess, in terms of your own life. How did you even do that? I think it's one of those things people think is easy, but it's really not.
Well, first of all, I tapped into Jesus at a young age. So, and with that energy, you're able to, do the miraculous. You're able to understand that you better bring your own bread to the table, because if not, you're going to be the lunch. To keep my peace and everything, everything I try to do, I try to bring my own leverage. So in case somebody comes, they could, they can't grab me. I have something to offer. So, I just try to grind and have something to offer, because, man, if you go to that table with no bread, it's going to be some meat.
You famously said you were hustling and you turned your life around. But we know, all of us know somebody either in the family or in the carceral system who's funny or talented, but they don't make that turn. And you say, you know, Jesus is popping. Yeah, you gave yourself to the Lord, but did you always have that talent? I mean, what was it that nurtured that ability to find and define those characters, to write those sketches? Because it's one thing to tell a joke on the yard, and it's a whole nother thing to be able to level it up to a business, right?
Yeah, I just that creativity and learning from others, you know, watching movies and seeing, understand why that was funny, you know, just kind of studying without me trying to study. And I just felt it. I knew people. And I knew black people more than anything. So I knew what to make them laugh. I knew what to make them cry. I knew what to make them mad. I knew what to make them angry. So I just know how to I know how to prepare content for my people. For sure.
Do you, I feel like in some ways you're kind of traditional, but in some ways you're like way over here in your own lane. How do you see yourself? How would you categorize yourself? You know, you call yourself Country Wayne. It's right there in the title. And you talk about the Lord at the same time. You're a vegan, and you're open and transparent about things that have happened in the past with your family and yourself.
Yeah, I think I'm a little piece of everything, so everybody can relate. So when anybody look at me, they see a piece of themselves or their family. So I think I'm just a little bit of everything, man. You know, so it's like a good piece of some dinner with all them seasons on, a little bit of hot sauce, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic, and I just, I'm just originally, organically who I really am, and I think a lot of people just relate to that.
The book is called Help is on the Way. And part of it is just what you're talking about right now, being able to help folks, not just to make them laugh, but also to inspire.
Yes, for sure. Just want to inspire people that, God love everybody and inspire people to basically focus on their blessings and not their problems. Because when a problem happens, people get mad and they argue and they fuss and they shout. I said, but when people wake up in the morning, they don't shout. So you got to realize that help is always on the way. If you just be still and just pay attention, help is always on the way.
Be still and pay attention. I'm laughing because it's so true, but it's harder than it sounds. I have one kid. And that's a lot for me. You have 10. And yet I don't hear you talking a lot about the kids in your comedy.
Yeah, because they're the reason for the season. I talk about them in my stand-up. I started off, and on social media, I put them in my skits sometimes. My oldest son, Tony and Tamar, they was the reason why the skits are doing what they're doing. They're part of the reason. Because I started putting them in and built storylines around them. But like my kids are they my everything. They the reason. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have. I'm a country boy. I wouldn't have grinded this hard. I was happy as long as I got me something to eat and a roof on my head, clothes on my back. I don't need all this.
Right.
But my kids made me grind harder because once I attached myself to their mothers, I had to take care of them, and I had to take care of some of my baby mama family and their family and the kids. So my kids are the reason why I dig so deep into my creativity to keep going.
I mean, I saw the really cute post where you have, two of your girls checking out the book, right? And being so happy, for your success. But I guess I was thinking of the more traditional thing where the comic gets up and complains about their kids and their wife.
Oh, no, I don't complain. My kids ain't the problem. It's the grown-ups. My kids, man, me and my kids, they the best thing. They the only people who really keep me grounded and just treat me still like Dwayne. You know what I mean? My family even acting weird now. I'm like, man, God, I'm still Dwayne Coley. Good Lord. But, yeah, man, my kids, man, shoot, I ain't did that. They didn't ask to be here. So I put them here, so they my responsibility. So I don't never complain about that.
What is your ultimate, you have, I guess, for a lot of comics, the Netflix special or some kind of comedy special is the goal. It's like, wow, I've made it. That's coming, right? You have your first Netflix special coming out. You've got your book out. You've got millions, literally millions of followers. But what's your end game? Do you have one?
Man, my end game is just to inspire everybody, and especially my people, man, to find yourself again. If a lot of people around the world be like, man, Country Wayne inspired me to find myself and love my family, take care of my family, be there for my family, I've done my job. Because we mind our own business and worry about our own family, there won't be no business out there to worry about. But people worry about everybody except for their family and their cousins and their mom and their daddy. They'll get on social media and comment, man, I mind my business. So I just want to be that inspiration to our people to, look out for each other.
There's a real controversial article on Huffington Post this week about Generation X comics and how the writer who's on this show sometimes, Lawrence Ross, he says Gen X comics are dead. He's critical of Monique. He's critical of Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, and others, saying it's time for them to step down. And, they're not funny anymore. Do you look at it? Do you look at it as a generational thing? Do you look at it as, one style of comedy versus another? How do you see the state of comedy, and how do you see yourself in that?
Well, I think the state of comedy is trendy. I think a lot of people doing what they seen, the kind of comics they like do, whatever style they like or whatever. But my state is I'm still at that beginning state of just raw and simple. It's still relatable to the people. And I think when people start to get money and stuff, it's hard to stay relatable because they ain't around nobody. They're not around everyday people.
Yeah, that's basically what the article says. Now they're rich, they're out of touch, they're not as relevant.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard to be in touch when you just around people with money all day. I'm around so many broke people every day because my family, I don't leave them.
Yeah.
So in my state of comedy, I know what I'm the man. Right now on stage, nobody can. When this special drop, people gonna realize what Country Wayne really is. They can't mess with me. That's why I put out so much content, because I'm still connected to my people. And to stay connected to your people, when you get money, especially when you black, you must take care of your family. That's not an option.
Yeah, well, and if you're like most black families, you're never going to run out of people with no money in your own family.
No, my people asked me for money when they did, like when they died. They come.
So, but I mean,
let me get a little soft.
But I mean, you don't worry about a lot of the, a lot of these controversies around comedy, the cancel culture, I can't talk about this, I can't talk about that, I'm not allowed to be myself and be funny?
No, because I never talked about nobody anyway. I talk about my family. So when I get on stage, I got a lot of controversial things, but I'm talking about me and my family. And I believe a lot of comics use people as punching bags. And that ain't comedy. That's zoning. Mm-hmm. Comedy is being real creative, crafting the joke that, you allowed to talk about you and yours.
Yeah.
But talking about others and going at others, you can say something relatable, but comics use people as punching bags because it's easier to talk about somebody else. But eventually, that's not going to work overall. So I think the cancel culture, I'm not worried about being canceled because I got my own people. Like, how can you
back to that leverage?
Yeah, you can't cancel me. I don't want, man. I ain't stuck there.
Yeah.
If I stop right here, God stop me right here, I'm good.
A lot of comics, you know what? Okay, we'll address this on the other side. I'll give you a chance to think about it. But a lot of comics that have been on this show with me, including some names say the internet is ruining comedy. That people that are funny on Instagram, funny on Facebook, funny on YouTube cannot do stand-up. You're touring with stand-up. I want to hear your response to that when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580 with Kountry Wayne.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
If you have certain chronic conditions, such as heart disease,
asthma,
diabetes, and you're 19 years of age or older,
52, 36,
42, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated.
With Prevnar 20.
Outrage in Egypt over Netflix's Black Cleopatra. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News, brought to you by Lendistry. The life of Cleopatra VII, Queen of Egypt from 51 to 30 BC, is still captivating even now in 2023. The recent announcement of Netflix's upcoming docuseries, Queen Cleopatra, which casts Black British actress Adele James as its coveted lead, has the Queen's ethnicity as a topic of conversation once again. Narrated by the talented Jada Pinkett Smith, this docuseries will uncover the truth behind Cleopatra's heritage, intellect, and beauty. I know I'll be watching. Will you? Let us know on all of our socials at KBLA 1580. I'm Maisha Cairo, and we've got a lot to talk about.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
So excited to be talking with Kountry Wayne. He is literally watched by millions every single day on social media with his sketch comedy, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, his YouTube channel. And I asked you before we went to break to respond to this, what's becoming sort of a common thought that social media is ruining comedy, that internet comedians can tell one joke or two jokes or do a sketch, but they can't do stand-up. What are you, obviously, you don't agree because you're touring and doing really well, but what do you say about that?
I'm glad you asked this question because y'all finna realize the real Wayne when I answer this. That might be true for some of them the people who come out the internet, but ain't a comedian, I don't care if they old, new, ain't nobody in the world better than me on stage right now than me. So they can exclude me from that. And you can ask me. The only thing I do is ask them, how you think Kountry Wayne is? They gonna tell you, because as comedians, we know who's in their bag. We can tell who, like, oh, this person's dangerous right now.
Yeah.
You know? So right now, when it comes to Kountry Wayne, everybody who don't see me live over the last 2 years or whatever, especially the last 2 years, they know what's up. That's why I put them clips I put on my story every weekend when I'm on tour. The reason why I put them up, because people don't know, but comedians know, you can't do that. The way those people laughing and jumping up like they're in church, the whole show, that's why I put it up, because that's a comedian talk. They talk, the other internet comedians, but when it comes to Kountry Wayne, I don't even curse in my comedy. That's how good I was in stand-up. I didn't even have to curse, and I still got on rocking like we had the cookout. So I understand when they come in there, but they can keep my name out of that. And this is the first person I ever told, because this is a real show. And I put it up 2018. I was the best in the world. You know what I mean? A lot of comedians call me OG comedians, like, man, you getting too arrogant. No, it's not arrogant. It's confidence. I put work in it. And I focus on this. I give my all to this. So, you know, the other internet, some internet comedians out there ain't got no jokes. And I agree to that. But it's a lot of comedians who've been around a long time who ain't never been funny either. The black people. So I be confused. I'm like, ain't nobody really that funny. Everybody ain't Bernie Mac. You know what I'm saying? That's why comedy ain't that big. That's why people don't go to comedy shows. that much. It wasn't the internet people that ruined the crowd of critics. It's because over time they just wasn't that funny.
Oh my goodness!
And nobody don't want to say it. See, women stroke men egos, right? So the world is like that. A woman will tell her man he this and that. No, he ain't all that. She hollers this and that. Everybody know comedians ain't that funny. But every comedian think they just killing it. Man, ain't nobody laughing at this show.
Yeah. I'm laughing. I mean, I for some reason I say I have comedy karma, Country Wayne. You know, when my first radio show in LA, Paul Mooney was my first guest. You know, I was one of the sidekicks on the Steve Harvey Morning Show for many years, worked for J. Anthony Brown. It's such a blessing because I love comedy and I love to laugh. But I think you're right. It's not as big as it used to be. Just the whole...
No, because people wasn't that good. That stuff ain't good. How you think of it? It was so bad that internet comments came. That's how bad it was. 'Cause, right, when you good, nobody can come take my woman. Nobody can't come right now. Internet comedian could pop up. You ain't taking Country Wayne fame. I'm the truth. So if somebody came and took your girl or your game or your position, you wasn't that good.
Who do you like? I mean, you mentioned Bernie Mac. Who else is funny to you? Because
Cedric Entertainer.
Yes.
Bernie Mac. Lavelle Crawford. Tony Roberts. Corey Holcomb, when he ain't so negative talking about women and stuff, he could be a great comic. But he got his own thing. But back in the day, man, it's a lot of them who cracked me up, but for an hour,
yeah.
Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Just think about how many hour specials that everybody remember. The one Deion Cole just dropped, the one before last, that was one of the best in the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? That special Kevin Hart dropped when he said, all right, and talked about it. The one that blew him up. You know which one's good because they really take your career to the next level. The people going to let you know. Kings of Comedy, Cedric Entertainer, the way Steve Harvey hosted that, even DL came and did. He was joning, but it was funny. But the reason why Bernie Mac took off after that because that was a banging set.
That was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody know who really good in front of the black people. Everybody be this comedy thing, bro. That's why everything I got is from jokes because it ain't because people just love me so much.
Well, in your characters, I mean, people love your characters. Is that observational? Is that, your imagination?
Yeah, so, man, people ain't, bro, them characters Buddy and Drip, them was real black people. Entertainers ain't connect to black people no more. That's what's wrong. I'm a down south country boy.
I love talking to you because you don't give me the political answer. You just give me the real answer.
Man, I'm not political. That's why you think I ain't in the industry like that? Because every comedian knows they feel my vibe. You ain't finna catch a comedian talking. Ask a comedian. I bet they don't bring up my name.
Yeah.
Only if comedians really bring up my name is like the real ones, Cedric Entertainer, because they don't. You know how the popular dude. It's like if a dude got a girl and he try to not bring up the real dude because he's scared he's gonna take his girl.
Yeah.
But it's like David in the Bible. Saul was the king, but David was the people's king. They always say Saul killed thousands, but David killed tens of thousands. So all the people's champs. So a lot of people, comedians, try not to bring up my name, but the people know. They like Country Wayne don't blew up in everybody's face. So, but yeah, that's my take on that comedy. That's why I'm so glad this special about to come out.
Yes, and you're shooting it May 12th in D.C., right?
Yep.
When will we be able to see it?
Most likely this year, for what they told me, not in the grindstone, but
late 2023. Hopefully, you'll come back and come in the studio and hang out with us when it comes out. And congratulations on that.
Congratulations for the answer you just got. You just got a good answer.
All right, I'll take it.
Nah, I appreciate you though, man. For real.
What about the book? Cedric wrote the intro to the book. That's out right now. Tell folks why they should go pick it up. Help is on the way is the title.
Go pick up Help is on the way because it's going to calm you down and get you to stop worrying about your relationship and your bills and realize things ain't as bad as it seems. Focus on your blessings. That book has got a lot of lessons in it for you to get back to who you are and stop worrying about how people feel about you, and it get you back centered in life so you can get God's blessing.
I mean, you're a relatively young guy. Where's all this wisdom and philosophy coming from?
From not judging my elders in my family and listening to them, even if they were on crack, even if they didn't have money. I knew they was on earth longer than me, and I knew certain things they knew. So I always listened. And then after that, I picked up the Bible 2012. I've read the Bible 7 times. I'm on my 8th trip through it now. I read it every day. I don't skip. I read a page every day. I'm on my 8th trip. I read it from beginning to the end 7 times, and I'm almost done with my 8th time, and I start back over again. So first listening to my grandma and them, even though they didn't have much, but they had something else, experience. And then after that, I picked up the Holy Bible and everything in there.
Well, help is on the way. That is out now. You can find it wherever you find your books. Go to a black bookstore, find it on Amazon, and you're in a lot of things too. You're in the Praise This feature film on Peacock. You're acting too.
Oh yeah, for sure. The acting, yeah. Yeah, I've been acting. I was acting before I ever did stand-up. So it's just like everything coming back full circle.
Well, I really appreciate you stopping in this morning. What do you want to leave us with?
I want to leave everybody, man, love yourself, because you can only love somebody as much as you love yourself. So love yourself, put yourself first, and man, you're going to love others for sure.
And, of course, you can find Kountry Wayne if you haven't yet. I'm sure you probably have. Just make sure you spell country with a K. And you can find him on all social media platforms or on Netflix coming soon. Special.
Cool.
Thank you so much for stopping in. Appreciate you, Kountry Wayne.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Feeling a little inspired about that, not running from who we are and doing it your own way, even if everybody in the world says that's not the way to do it. Kountry Wayne with the K. Follow us. Speaking of K, KBLA 1580 on all socials. And you can find me at DiPrima Radio. That's DIPRIMA. And then radio. Tavis Smiley's up next, as he is every single day. He's got a great lineup for you. And I'm Dominique DiPrima. You knew that. I just put something up on my YouTube channel that you don't want to miss. It's DiPrima Radio as well. History is now, and we're making it together. Until tomorrow, be safe, be well, one love.
KBLA 1580.